What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back, as always, to the Capoeira Experience podcast. This is your host, Instructor Kashishi from Capoeira Barcelona, Indianapolis. And today, I have a pleasure to bring a good friend from all the way from Toronto. Tosquia, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, always, man, always. Everybody's this is the harder. It's an open harder, so everybody can play. How's everything going so far?
It's going well. It's going well. You know, the last year has been a couple of speed bumps, to say the least. But you know, the adjusting to the capoeira training has been good. You know, it's not the same as what it has been, but I'm glad that there's some training at all rather than nothing. You know, it'd be very different if I couldn't even jinga in my own room.
Oh yeah. And I'm glad that you guys are doing some online in person too, right?
Yeah, our professor Sokech has done very well with adapting to the Zoom culture. Like pretty much right in March, when everything closed down last year, we had or March for us at least in Toronto, in Canada. He did like 5 classes a week on Zoom. He was very good with adjusting right away. And then he started little by little recording the sessions instead of streaming them. And then he built a membership website, what we never had before until COVID. And now we have like a members login, a members area with all pre-recorded videos of like classes that we've done. And then we give access to the live sessions. So there's a lot of opportunity for new and existing students to train.
Nice. Yeah. So you guys have a lot of material there to practice at home when there's no class.
Yeah, I guarantee I've forgotten more than just one class in all the sessions. If there's like 4 classes a week, you know.
Oh yeah, well that usually happens, and until you see a video, I forgot
that's exactly
class. Yeah. Nice. And one of the things that I wanted you to share here with the people is music, because I know you like the I mean, of course I know you like everything about capoeira, but I know you're pretty good with music. And so before we get into that, what is your social media?
So my social media is on Instagram. It's I'm pretty sure you can search Tosquia, like TOSQUIA, but it's the actual handle is JAY_LIBS.
Okay.
Lips. That's my first and last name. But you can search like Jimmy Tosquia, and I guarantee it'll come up. Some guy doing a capoeira thing in the picture. And, on Facebook, it's just Jimmy Libake. Yeah, it's nothing capoeira related really. So it's more Instagram for capoeira. Yeah.
Cool. So if you around there, just go check it out and follow Tosquia. And why Tosquia? Why Tosquia?
So it's a funny story. When I started training, still not just now, but when I started training, I was going through, I had just begun getting a lot of like fresh haircuts. You know, this is COVID.
Nice.
This is the best that my beautiful girlfriend can do.
Nice.
I'm happy with it.
Nice. It looks good, man.
Thank you. I'm trying it out. So when I started training capoeira, I would get these designs shaved into my head.
Yeah.
Like little hieroglyphics, like things all over, one side, the other side, the back. And so Professor Sokech very quickly decided to give me a name to attribute to that, to me always getting these designs shaved into my head. And he originally went with the name Agrafo because of the designs and everything. But then I think after 2 weeks of giving me the name, he changed it to Tosquia because he found out that Agrafo has a second meaning in Portugal that means staple. He's like, I don't want to give you a name that everyone's going to be, what is that? So then he changed it to Tosquia because Tosquia, so then it's a lot more like specific, like people aren't going to misunderstand it. But the word, it's funny because Tosquia is still a very it's not super common for a lot of people. The reason behind the word is a tosquiador is the person who shaves the hair of sheep.
Oh.
And a tosquiar is the verb of cutting the hair. So Tosquia is like somewhere in between there because of like the hair clippers that you would use to shave my head.
That's funny. Like that's a good one.
That you would use to cut the hair. Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't know that word until now.
Yeah. You know what? Like I've met Brazilians that don't know the word and they're like Tosquia. And then I got to explain it. They're like, oh, it makes sense. Okay.
Oh, cool. That's pretty cool. I wonder. So, Kechi, you got to tell me where you get his tricks, man, because
Yeah, he's super creative with
I
it.
know he's gonna listen to this.
I hope so.
That's awesome, man. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, so it's unique. I love it.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Oh yeah, because I never met somebody called Tosquia.
yeah, that's
That's
it.
pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Now and why now back to the topic of music, capoeira music. Why you personally like capoeira music?
Um, well, so I like capoeira music specifically because I love the fact that it combines the art form like with the physicality as well as where the music happens at the same time.
Yeah.
Find many, like whether it's makulele or whether it's like samba jihora or whether it's like actually playing capoeira, you don't find many art forms where I find like, or like martial arts specifically at least, where you're going to play live music and someone's going to practice the art form at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very cool. Honestly, the music wasn't what originally brought me to capoeira. It was just, it was a nice surprise. But I originally came for the acrobatics, but I wanted to pursue music when I was in high school, and then my cousin told me that it had music in capoeira, and I was like, oh wow, okay, well let's continue with the music.
Yeah.
So it was very easy for me to enjoy doing it because I already had an exposure to music for a while.
Nice.
Yeah, and then like I speak Spanish, so learning Portuguese for capoeira music was also a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, like with my music background and the Spanish speaking, like it just sort of came, I don't want to say naturally, it came like it came less hard.
It was easier, yeah.
A little bit easier, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, because definitely learning English, Spanish, or being Spanish speaker definitely is a little bit advantage. I still know a lot of people that speak Spanish and they don't know how to speak Portuguese, but it's a definitely a big advantage of Spanish and Portuguese. There's a lot of words that are very, very close.
For sure, they both come from Latin, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Latin languages, they're gonna have some similarities.
Yeah, exactly, which is really cool. And how long have you been doing capoeira total until today?
So I started in 2011, in the summer of 2011.
Oh, cool.
So I guess this summer would be 10 years.
Oh man, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. And during that time, when do you think like you were like, oh man, I really, really want to practice more capoeira music?
Music specifically?
Yeah.
Probably like within 6 months of training. Like,
oh wow, really? That's fast.
Yeah, I think it also helped because I already had I wasn't afraid of learning the music. Like I think like it can be very intimidating for some people to learn a new instrument, to learn a new language, to learn how the rhythm works of singing and playing, and like because I listened to your Birimbau like episode about like the singing and playing at the same time. So like whether it's Birimbau, Pandeiro, Atabaki, Agogo, like they're all going to be a little bit challenging. So I feel like I was very ready and willing to just learn it right away. Nice. And when I started training with Sokech in 2011, there was a friend that we had of the group that didn't train with us yet. At the time, he hadn't trained with us, but he was so good in music.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Simba, he trains in our group, and he's he would carry a birimbau, and he'd been like, I just started training, and he would come to class with a birimbau and like a whole songbook of like 20 pages of songs.
Oh man!
And to me, I was like, wow, I just started training, and here's this guy who knows so much music.
Yeah.
So I feel like being exposed to him, and also maybe joining Sokech when we had a smaller group, it made it very easy to sort of grab the instinct by the horns, like sort of learn firsthand. Like, why not learn? There's not, we had more than enough instruments. There weren't as many students because I started back when Sokech just started teaching in Canada.
Okay.
So I think it was a lot of factors that sort of played into me being okay with learning music so early on.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Because, man, the first time I was able to sing in a capoeira roda, it was probably like 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And that was like, I was shy. Like, it's like I had my own structure in front of me. I had a friend of mine, like we were like in a little triangle, and I was holding the pandero and they couldn't hear me singing.
Yeah.
and they were like, "Man, you gotta sing louder." Okay,
Oh.
come on, I can hear you. I'm singing, dude. And he's like,
Yeah, Harry, come on.
and dude, oh, shy until like eventually, like you said, like I exposed myself to the harder, and then I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. I just want to do it.
Yeah.
And eventually you learn how to project your voice, especially because you gotta be on top of the all the instruments.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's a big responsibility.
oh yeah, and if you get lost on rhythm, you're gonna notice. Or if you sing too low, you're gonna notice. So you
Yeah.
have to learn how to project the voice.
Yeah.
And which do you remember your first song that you practice?
I
Or
do.
the way you learn, the way you can say like, oh man, okay, this is how I practice on playing berimbau and learn how to sing.
Uh, so I remember the first song that I ever learned. I will say one more thing. I think what made it very easy for me and a lot of my fellow students in our group to learn music was
Yeah.
that Sokech was very, very uh, specific with having one music class a week. So from the very beginning, from when I started training, if we had 3 classes a week, 2 of them were like the Saturday class. One of the 3 classes always had like an hour and a half of music.
Oh,
So we
cool.
sing songs, whether we all play the atabac or we all play the pandero,
Oh
and then
yeah.
little by little as we grew, whether we all play the birimbau, but he would be very like adamant on like always having the music. So I think the exposure from the very beginning played a big part in people, and still plays a big part in me and other students in my group being so open to the music and not as shy about it.
Yeah.
But I do remember my very first song I ever learned was Amare Taché for
Oh,
Regional.
cool.
It was super simple. Like it was the first easy song that I learned.
Yeah, nice. No,
Like
it's simple.
it's super simple. Like
Yeah.
there's no verses or anything. And then like the first like actual song with like verses that I learned was Na Vida Sikai for
Okay.
Regional. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but it is
Yeah.
Sokech told us about it, and then like he said how much he loved it, and then that made me want to learn it as my first song.
Nice. That's awesome, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You remember any of that lyrics?
Na Vida Sikai, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just say the words
Yeah.
or
No,
translate? Or
yeah. No. Try to a cappella.
a cappella. Na vida se cai, se leva a rasteira, que nunca caiu, now we capoeira. That's
Nice.
the chorus, right? And then
Yeah.
Na capoeira eu cresci como passado, desse tempo tão ligeiro, rápido como piscar. Ontem eu era menino iniciante, capoeira errante, mas não parei de treinar. And that was the first verse. So it's like 8 lines, 4 lines, 4 lines.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
a good song. Yeah, it's a nice, and it's it has a true meaning in anything, whether it's capoeira in life, in relationships, friendships. Like for whoever doesn't understand the chorus, it's like in life we fall. We get knocked down. Those who have gotten knocked down aren't capoeira. Like they haven't experienced capoeira. But obviously you can sub the capoeira for they have not lived or whatever you want to.
Yeah.
It's a great song. I love it.
Yeah. Same. I really like it, and he's very, very contagious, and he brings the energy really nice. Like, and what do you think English speakers can kind of not kind of like how they can practice more English? Capoeira music. So try to connect the dots with English and where should they start?
Yeah. So I'm honestly gonna just relay some of the ways that Professor Sokech would tell us to learn throughout the years. And I probably changed it a little bit myself as I went on throughout the years. But I think what really, really helps is understanding the lyrics first.
Nice.
So whether it's 2 lines, 4 lines, 8 lines, 20 lines, 3 verses of 8 lines each, as long as if you understand what you're singing, then it's always going to be easier to remember what comes next in the story.
Yeah, for sure.
Then it has significance in your mind. Whether if you just try to memorize all these words like an answer on a test, then it's very easy for you to just forget and then not know what's next. But if I know the story talks about this man does this, oh, then this man went here, then from there he went here, and then after that, then it's a lot easier for me to just sort of think about what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I would do that with learning the song. First, I would always learn the lyrics, and then I would say the lyrics at the same time as the song.
Okay.
So that I would sort of get the same timing and the rhythm. And then I would probably try singing it while playing the pandero.
Nice.
And then I'll make it harder. Like I'll sing it, then play the atabac, or then I'll sing and play the birimbau. Maybe not. Maybe that's the last step. The birimbau.
The birimbau, yeah.
I feel like I skipped a few steps in the middle, but for sure, memorizing, like learning the story, learning what you're saying first, very much.
Sure.
And then saying it with the song so that it sort of keeps you on pace and on the right rhythm. And then maybe if you can say it on your own without the music, like without seeing the lyrics, if you just remember it all.
Yeah.
And then instruments, yeah. I trial and error, you know? Like
yeah. The way how I learn is, for me, is easier if I write it down.
Mm-hmm.
If I write it down, and I mean, of course I see the lyrics. So I see it and I write it down, and I see it and I write it down, and then I play the song and I read it, and I play the song again and I sing it, and I play the song again, and until like I kind of like read less until like I'm able to sing the song without seeing the lyrics.
Yeah.
Or I can see the lyrics and sing it on the rhythm. So that way is, of course, everybody works different, but
but that absolutely, like, why that would help some people to like write it down, just other ways for your brain to absorb it.
Because that is, I'm very visual, so I have to see it. And what do you think was the most struggle part for you for the capoeira music, to sing without applying instruments, without anything?
Without the instruments?
Yeah.
For me personally, it was probably the only place. It was probably where my Spanish didn't help me, because there are some things that some rules don't transfer over from the Spanish to English, and like some rules, like some letters, just like I might see a word and want to say it one way because of Spanish, but it sounds a completely different way with Portuguese.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the letters just have different rules with each other. But yeah, with the music, just without the instruments, I think it was really just learning the new language, or like, you know, slightly new language, at least just getting used to what the different meanings of different words is and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So do you ever like got to the point where you were reading a lyric and you were like, what this means? And then that brings you to something else, and then, oh, but what this means? And then you like completely go like different ways. Like, for example, if there's a song of Visoro, it's like, oh, well, what the hell is Visoro? And then you go look it up, and then, oh, Visoro Manganga. Okay. And then you read the story of Visoro Manganga. And then from there, you read something else, like, oh, man, what this means now.
Yeah. It's an endless loop. You just keep looking things up, but it's not a bad thing. But
yeah, for sure. Did you ever like go into the bump of trying to like look for information?
Sorry, say it again.
Like do you ever find yourself finding the meaning of those words, and that brings you to something else?
Yeah, like there have been songs that I've looked up over the years, like for Benguela, or like longer songs that have verses, and like I'll just be singing something, and like the easiest way to translate is I just put the whole thing into Google Translate, and then you'll see a word and you're like, that doesn't make sense. What am I singing about here? You know? And then you start seeing words that don't make sense at all, and then the next thing you know, you're messaging the one person you know that speaks Portuguese. It's like, what does this mean? And then they're like, it's like, what does that mean? Tell me the whole thing.
Yeah.
So for sure it happens. Like, you know, like Google Translate is great, but it only gets you so far. So there's a lot of times where the answer that you get is not the answer that you expected. So you have to keep looking and looking and looking.
Yeah, for sure. Because it always happens that you're looking at something, and then you are reading, and halfway you are like, wait, what this means? And then you get you transfer your attention to something else, and then what this means, and then like you said, it becomes on a loop. and then
Yeah. Yeah.
you start looking for Bisoro, and then you end up like reading about atabaques, something like that, and it's just funny how that works.
So
Plus,
the
I get distracted really easy. 'Cause
that's it. You and
I
me
go
both.
everywhere. They what?
You and me both.
Yeah. So and I start going like all over the place, and reading stuff, and then I forget what I was looking for. And what do you think? How people can connect music, like singing, with instruments? Like for example, like starting with the pandero and then going to the atabaque. How would you practice that?
So when I'm learning if I'm breaking the song down and I try to introduce the instruments first, I will probably try to play the atabaque and sing the atabaque or the pandero first, which like I think the atabaque is a little simpler depending on what style you're playing, but whichever one you're more comfortable with, really. People start with one usually. I would probably break the song down into verses. If you have verses, if it's call and responses, I would probably like if it's four lines in one verse, I might try to just do 2 lines and play at the same time, and then just keep doing those 2 lines over and over and over and playing until I can't mess it up.
Nice.
And then I'll do the second 2 lines over and over and over and play and play. And then when I could do both of them confidently, then maybe I'll do the 4 lines together and play and play. One important thing that I think is a great transition to learning to play and sing at the same time would be another drill that Professor Sokech would have us do over the years, and still to this day, for anyone getting comfortable with music. He'll start us on the pandero as the first instrument, or the atabaque, and then he'll say go through saying your name, your age, and your favorite food, for example.
Nice.
So sort of getting used to the brain, used to like keeping the rhythm with the instrument and saying saying those things without losing the rhythm.
Yeah.
And then, from there you can say, you can do it on the atabaque. And then if you can do it on the atabaque, then okay, then do it on the birimbau.
Nice.
If you talk throughout all of them without losing your way in the talk, you can talk without losing the talk, then you're good. Then I'd say then just start with simple songs, like songs without any verses, the Paranaues or the Lalaes, all the Lalaes.
Yeah, nice. Because I do something similar, but I do it with the ABC and the numbers. And I'm like, okay, just count till 10. And then once you get to 10, repeat it one more time, 1 to 10. And then once you're comfortable, now do it backwards. Now do it 10 to 1. And then do that again until you're comfortable. Okay, now you're comfortable with the numbers. Now let's start with the ABC. A, B, C, and they'll C, and you comfortable going through the whole thing without messing up the rhythm.
Yeah, I think the key is just to do something at the same time, to talk at the same time as playing, whether it's alphabet or whether it's the 3 things that Professor Sokech would have us do. Getting your brain to think about one thing while it's doing another thing is that's really the trick, right? Just like
because it becomes natural once. And it's funny because you never realize when you actually do it. When you can be like, oh, okay, I did it last Monday. It just like comes by itself. It's just like you start playing, and then you practice singing, and then you mess it up, and then you keep doing, and you keep practicing, and it's going to be a moment where you just like natural. It's just really weird because it just comes out, not just out of nowhere.
No, it's great. Yeah, when you get like you don't notice yourself improving, right? Until the day comes and you're like, oh wow, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. And you, unless you keep track or something like that, but it's funny how that works when you are able to play the instrument, whatever instrument it is, and sing at the same time. And it's super, super cool, and be able to play in the Hada. And I also encourage my students to be like, playing instruments because I want to play in the Hada too. So that way we switch.
Yeah, everybody wins, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And to wrap it up really quick, what do you think 2 favorite songs that you like to sing right now in the Capoeira Hada?
two favorite songs that I like to sing right now.
Yeah.
They're both songs that would be a little slower. So for like Benguela or like slow regional, one of them is Mande Kaya. I absolutely
Nice.
love that song. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Nice. Nice.
And
Nice.
there are two versions. There's by Boa Voz,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is like the slower version, the original, and then there's Mestre Casquinha's version,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
which is faster, and it's like Palma de Tejero, and he changed the lyrics to it as well. He sort of
Yeah.
made it like he shifted the focus of the original one, which is about Bizoro, like we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love like sort of a bit from both. Like I love the words of the original because it's paying homage to the history of Capoeira and Bizoro Manganga.
Yes.
But I like it a little bit faster, because the original is almost like a Angola rhythm. It's very slow and like, so I made it a little faster to be like a Benguela or like a slow regional rhythm.
Nice.
So I love singing that song. I absolutely love it. And then the second song that I very much enjoy is Viola de Valdemar, which is another Benguela song. It's the chorus is like le 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 le.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Le 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 le.
Nice. Nice.
Una Bahia pra tocar, birimbau de Mestre Valdemar.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah, so it's another.
From again? That one?
That one is I think that's.
Is it Boa Voice too?
I think it's Boa Voz as well.
I think so too.
I might be wrong, but I believe it is. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a very big fan of those two songs. Yeah, I like the story that they tell. I like when choruses are a little more melodic.
Okay. Okay.
More people can get into it,
Yeah.
naturally because I just like singing. So any song that has more of a story to tell, or a song where the chorus is a little more exciting with the melody, where people can go more creative places with the harmonies or no harmonies, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I always enjoy those songs more.
Nice. Nice. I love the Santo Antonio Quero Agua.
Yeah.
That one has that spice to the other.
As soon as it came out, super popular.
Yeah. Yeah. Dende, el dende, oh, dende, dende, oh, dende. I like that one. And I like the Bisoro Manganga.
Oh yeah.
Manganga. That one is it's pretty nice too for the rhythm.
Good at shit.
Oh yeah. And to wrap it up, the last question: a single advice for people that want to learn capoeira music.
Don't be afraid. Not everyone sounds super comfortable the first time they pick an instrument. Whether it's your first time playing the pandero in front of people, or whether it's your first time singing and playing the atabac, or whether you're singing in front of your class, like you're all gonna succeed together. So maybe you mess up one time, and like there's still times where I sing and I'll forget the lyric to a song. I'll forget the words, or I'll get my verses backwards. I'll start with one verse and I finish with another verse, and see if anyone will notice.
Yeah,
just have fun with it. Everyone's here to have a good time. So I think people are a lot more forgiving than some might be worried of. So
for sure,
everyone grows together.
For sure. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, because it's sometimes, like I mentioned before, sometimes we get into ourselves, into our own head, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna mess it up. What if I forget? And then all those nervousness like helps you to actually forget the lyrics.
Yeah, you get in your own head. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool. I like it. You just practice and again practice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Before we leave, what is your social media so people can follow you there?
The social media, it is so on Instagram, you can search JLibs, JAY_LIBS. You can also just search Tosquia. If you see a guy doing a capoeira bananera, you know it's yeah, on Instagram is the main one for capoeira. Yeah.
Nice. And I think you have like a lights, like a blue lights on the back.
I do, yeah. So it's actually a picture that I took years ago in the aquarium, the Ripley's aquarium.
Oh, cool.
They have a background with a bunch of jellyfish.
Nice.
With, a dark background with like little red things, and I'm doing like a bananera in it. So
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, Now you know if you're listening to this and you find Tosquia, just make now you know the picture and you can follow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, yes. Oh, shout outs to Professor Sokechi too. I know you're gonna be listening to this, bro. So shout out to Sokechi. If you're around Toronto, just make sure you go there, visit. Of course, after all this craziness of coronavirus, but once everything's open, we're able to travel. Just if you're in the area, make sure you stop by and say and get some classes done and play in the Hada and just say hi to Sokechi and all the good friends of Kadara Capoeira there in Toronto.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to coming visiting you guys one day.
Oh, for sure, man. Anytime, anytime. This your home too.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for getting this far. Remember, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is going to help us and help me to get bigger numbers and bigger subscribers so we can give more information. Okay, please, if you're listening, I know you're listening, I know you're watching, please give me a subscribe, give me a like. Okay, I know you're watching right here or listening. All right, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening every single episode, especially the episode we just did. All right, thank you so much. Peace.